So I was doing new releases for this year, and I came across this book by one of my authors, Rizzoli and Isles, and I discovered this is a brand new series. It's only got 3 books, well, 2 books right now, but the 3rd book is coming out in about a month or so. And so I thought I would give it a try. So here we go. Tess Gerritsen, The Spy Coast. And this is book 1. Hopefully it'll be a long series. But right now there were 3 books. The 2 are out now, and then there's another one coming out in a couple months. And this is the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina, K-R-S-T-I-N-A. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy stuff going on here. And for the next 2 weeks, we're having a special situation. And on the 7th night, yesterday, I'm sorry, excuse me. She left. The child. All right, so for the next 7 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Tuesday, we're going to be going over this. So, and I want you to put who you think done it. And so I can squeeze this back again. I want you to leave in the comments of those, in at least in video 7. Leave it in the comments who you think it is. So this is our last book for a couple weeks. Although I'll still be reading. So, first of all, I'm not exactly keen on this changing point of view all the time. Every single chapter is a different character's point of view. However, I am happy that that it was there are some authors that'll change POV mid-paragraph. The first paragraph will be A, and then the second paragraph will be B, and there'll be a wide space between it. Well, at least I'm glad that Tess, like Patterson, every character had their own chapter for their POV. However, I was a little disappointed that there were some chapters we were not given the heads up, and we had to make assumptions about who was speaking by what was going on in the chapter. So we have this young lady, or she's a little on the elder side now, Maggie, and Maggie is a spy. And she has reached, she's like in her 50s now. And her and these group of people are former spies, and they have settled in this small town of Maine. It's her and Declan Rose, Lloyd and Ingrid, and Ben Diamond, and they call themselves the Martini Club. They're ex-spies who get together and have some martinis or beverages or whatever, and these fancy, obscene meals that I've never even heard of. But anyways, so I was a little, like I said, put out a smidgen that we kept changing POV all the time. And then it was compounded by the fact that, like I said, you had certain chapters where you had to just make assumptions on who was speaking by the contents of the chapter. So anyway, Maggie is living in this really itsy-bitsy small town in Maine. And she has a farm. And she has some really nice... She's an elderly gentleman for a neighbor and his granddaughter. And she's getting really close to them. And one night, someone leaves a dead body in her driveway. And the local sheriff is Joe, a female, Joe. And she has all these questions. And Maggie is just, I don't know. I wasn't here. I have no idea. And yet she has this massively, massively sophisticated security system. So her and the cops go into her control room and sit down and rerun the tape and watch the truck come up and dump the body. And we get some more clues, and then we get the backstory. And we are fed the backstory very slowly. It's a very long, convoluted step. Maggie met this guy, and she fell in love with this guy. This guy happened to be a doctor. And while he was dating Maggie, he got offered to be a doctor for these people and get paid oogles and oogles and oogles of money. So she's like, oh yeah, go for it. Because at that time, she was a spy. And at that time, some of the people that she was investigating was in this little group of people that that Danny would be treating. And she sees him a little, and then she goes away, and she sees him a little, goes away, sees him a little, goes away, sees him. And Danny apparently has fallen in love. So after so many years of this, I'm in town for 2 minutes, let's hook up in the hotel thing, a couple of years of that, Danny proposes marriage, and she accepts. And they get married for a few years. And he gets deeper and deeper and deeper into this society, into this group of people he's treating. And Maggie is doing investigating. She's actually investigating some of the people he's treating. And some of the guys is a head kingpin that they want to get. And she's doing all this stuff. And everything is going good. And then one day, her husband says, Maggie, I saw you take the thumb drive. She's like, what? I was over in something having this conversation, and I could see the reflection in the mirror, and I could see you take the thumb drive. You need to give it back. They're tearing apart the house looking for this thumb drive. Now, I mistakenly assumed that she had brought her own thumb drive and had downloaded stuff into the thumb drive. But apparently that was not the case. Apparently the guy knew about the thumb drive, and it was stuff he was waiting for. It was his personal stuff. So Danny, her husband, I don't know what you want to call him, but Maggie gives him the thumb drive back, and he takes it and he goes back to the guy and slips it into his pocket. But so then she leaves. She has no choice. She has to just leave. And Danny's like, I have to go. I have to go. I have to go. I have to go treat him. And she's like, no, stay with me. We can go someplace. And he's like, no. He chooses his patient over her. So she leaves. He goes with the patient. And their plane explodes. And so Danny's been dead for up to years now. Supposedly he died in the airplane thing, in the bombing. And it takes all these chapters for all of this information to come out. And Jo really doesn't get any place with her investigation. We see snips of Jo's investigation, and we really don't get much from her at all. Very, very little from Jo. But Maggie and Declan and Lloyd and Ben, they follow the clues, so then they have to go overseas, and they go overseas, and one of their former members is very ill and dying. And he asks to see Maggie privately, so she goes to see him privately. And he gives her some information that she did not know. That apparently not everybody was on that plane that crashed, that blew up. And the agency that they used to work for, they just call it the agency, thinks that the guy is still alive because somebody's been accessing his accounts. And the only way they can access those accounts is with the passwords. So it has to be the guy because he's the only one with the passwords. There's a big reveal towards the end. So, there's a lot of secretive stuff going on here. Also, as another snippet, is that the granddaughter gets kidnapped at some point to be used as leverage against Maggie. And Maggie had betrayed a couple people, and these couple people are trying to get back at her. So I did take 7 pages of notes, and I did write down the important pages that it was Operation Serrano, and they wanted Cyrano or whatever. That's what they called it. So Maggie goes all over to Bangkok, and she's all over the place doing this stuff. And the story is just like I told. It's spread out little breadcrumbs throughout all the chapters. But I think so the next one is this one. This is book 2, The Summer Guest. But my favorite part was the author's note at the end. And this book split, by the way. It's always daunting to breathe new life into a cast of characters, and I'm grateful to everyone who helped me introduce Maggie Bird and the Martini Club to the world. Meg Woolley, Rebecca Shura, and the incredible team of Jane Rose and the literary agency have been there for me since the start. Oh wait, no, that's not what I was looking for. Here we go. The Spy Coast was inspired by an odd little secret I discovered years ago about my small Maine town. Soon after we moved there, my physician husband opened a medical practice, and when he asked his new patients about their prior occupations, this was how the conversations went. So what did you do for a living? I used to work for the government. And what did you do for the government? I can't talk about it. About the 3rd or 4th time this happened, my husband realized there was something very peculiar about the retirees who live here. A local realtor finally revealed the clue. Oh, they were all CIA. We discovered that just on our short street, we had 2 retired spies as neighbors. Why so many of them congregated into this town of only 5,000 inhabitants? Is it because they feel safe anonymous here in the woods northy from any nuclear targets? It's because our town featured prominently, or so our realtor told us, in retirement magazines for spies? Or because Maine has been used so often as a location for safe houses in the past? These are the theories I've heard, but I've never managed to get a straight answer, because the ones who actually know can't or won't answer the question. So, what happened with Danny? Did he really die on that plane? Who really died on that plane? Who wants Maggie dead? Who wants her friends dead? And what happened to some other people? There were some other people that Maggie was involved in. Danny wasn't the only one. And Mr. Hardwicky wasn't the only one. Mr. Hardwicky's daughter, Bella, Maggie was getting really good friends with her, and they had a good relationship. And she also had a good relationship with Hardwicky's mistress. So there's all those people out there. So we'll have to see how it goes. And look forward to this book in a couple weeks. I'm gonna read it tomorrow, but like I said, the next couple days are kind of occupied. This was good. Yeah, I let me know in the comments of video 7. Who do you think did it? But here I go on my Martini Club journey. And don't forget to check into Star Trek Next Generation Recaps Friday, or Voyager Recaps on Friday, JD Robb Saturday, If Then Friday afternoons. If you like this author, you might like that author. I got a little thing with apples and peaches. I did some genealogy in September. I got some different things coming down the line here. October, I went totally Halloween. You'll see. I'm still thinking about Thanksgiving. I've got time. I've got plenty of time. My life is going through some changes right now, so we'll have to see what's going on. So anyways, Oh, and don't forget Unboxing Sunday and or ARC extravaganzas. We'll have to see about those. Have a good one.